Okay, in this video we will see how to solve quadratic equations either by graphing, factoring, completing the square, or using the quadratic formula. So first we need to understand that if our quadratic function is not touching the x-axis, we can see there is no solution. If the graph is touching the x-axis, it just in one point, there is only one solution. So the equation have just one solution. If the graph is touching the x-axis in 2 points, we can say that there is two solution. So to solve this, which means to find the value of x, you need just to graph the function fx is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, and you see if it's touching the x-axis in 2 points, in 1 point, or no touching at all. So this is graphing. Graphing is the most easiest one. You plug your equation in your calculator, graphing calculator, and it will show you the intersection, and you can zoom out to see which point, and you can see actually where it's touching at. The second method is by factoring. Factoring means you take your equation and you change it from this form to another form to be something times something is equal to 0. And when you do that, you can isolate each part by itself. You can say this will be equal to 0 or this will be equal to 0, and you solve for your x, how much here, and your x here. Okay. Completing the squares is to find one section, like change this equation from this form to this form, to have it like something square is equal to a number, any number. Okay, and from there you can square root both sides, okay, and you get this section without squares, but you need to take the positive and negative value in this section. Using the quadratic formula is another way to do that, by discrimination. The discrimination, first of all, you just calculate your b squared minus 4a squared, and you know that your b is like your ax squared plus bx plus c. This is your b. You take the square of this minus 4 times a times c. And if you find this value, if you find it positive, that means you have two answers. You have your graph is touching the x-axis in two different values. If you have your delta discriminant, the discriminant, if you find it is equal to 0, that means your graph, you have just one solution. If your discriminant is negative, that means there is no solution. Okay, so let's apply that by doing some exercises from the review chapter. So for example, the first question, solve the quadratic equations by graphing. So x squared plus 8x plus 12. Let's do that. Okay, so we have x squared plus 8x plus 12. Good. So my x-intercept, I can see it here. So I have 2 points here, one here and one here. So my solutions are 2, x is equal to minus 2, sorry, x is equal to minus 2, or x is equal to minus 6. And you can see it directly from your graph. All this, you just graph them and see where is the x-intercept, and you choose the x value from your output, and that's your solution. All these exercises which are using graphing, you just graph them, all of them. It's just same thing. It doesn't matter the value you have there, you just graph them and you get your answer. So now let us use this by factoring. So the first thing I will do is find a number. Okay, I will show you a very good method to do this. Okay, the first thing you need to do, you see that you have one number here beside, like near x. So you need to multiply this by this. So 9 times 4, it will give you how much? 36. And you will find a number that if you multiply them together, you get 36, which are 9 and 4. Okay. When you do that, so I multiply this by this. So 4 times 9 will give me 36. I will take my 36 and change it as 4 times 9. And I will rewrite my equation as this. So the whole equation will be written as this: 4x squared minus 4x minus 9x plus 9. What I did here, I just changed my 13x, my minus 13x, as minus 4x minus 9x, which you can see here, minus 4x minus 9x. Why I am doing that? Because now I can see it's easy to factorize. So I can factorize here by 4x, and I can factorize here by 9. So I will get, this is equal to 4x times x minus 1, okay, plus 9 times minus 9. I will factorize minus 9. Minus 9 times x minus 1. So if you distribute this, you will find, if you distribute this, 4x times this, and you will find exactly this, the above one. So my equation now will be like this. I will factorize again. I will factorize by x minus 1, x minus 1. So I will have x minus 1 times 4x minus 9. Good. Now you can see I change my equation from this form to a factorated form, which is this one. Perfect. So let's do the second example. So factorizing is very important. So for this equation, I will write it as this. First of all, I can see I have a half here, and I can make a half here. So I will factorize by a half outside, x squared minus 3x minus 4. This is same as this one. Good. Now I can just take this part of my equation and factorize it. So what I will do the same thing. Look, I will take a number that two numbers, if you multiply them, you will find minus 4. okay? And if you add them, you will find minus 3. So what those numbers are, we can say they are minus 4 and 1. Minus 4 times 1 is minus 4, and minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. So I got the factorizing numbers. So I can do that, like I can just write my equation as this. So I will still have my half there, I will not change it, and because I find a factorizing number here which are minus 4 and plus 1, I can write my equation as x minus 4 times x plus 1. Very, very easy. So I will repeat again how you do that. You multiply this, okay, by the value you have here, front of x, okay, and you write it somewhere here. So minus 4. And you need to find a number, two numbers that if you multiply them, you will get minus 4. I will get and if you add them, you will get minus 3. So minus 4 times 1 is minus 4, and minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. So I got my correct information. So because my leading value here in front of x squared is just 1, I just write directly, I can take my value directly from here and write them as a multiplication. Okay, good. So let me do another one. As I said, this is factorizing is very, very important. So for this one, I can see my value here, v minus plus 1, v plus 1. I can just replace it with a big X, okay? So my equation will be written as this. My equation can be written as this. 3x squared plus 10x plus 7. I changed my equation from this form to this form to make my calculation very easy. Now I need to apply the same thing I just did before. So factorizing this, so 7 times 3, I don't need to use this. So 7 times 3 is 21. So I need two numbers that can, if you multiply them, you get 21, and if you add them, you get 10. Very easy, 7 and 3. And 7 times 3 is 21, and 7 plus 3 is 10. So this actually satisfies my calculation. So what I will do, I find 7, so this times this, 7 times 3 is 21, and 21 is 7 times 3. I will just rewrite my equation as 3x squared plus 3x plus 7x plus 7, and I can factorize here, and factorize here. Here I can factorize by 3x times x plus 1, and this side I can factorize by 7 x plus 1, and again I can factorize by x plus 1, which will be x plus 1 times 3x plus 7. Good. Now because I got my my factorization, I can go back to my original equation, which is replacing my x with v plus 1. So instead of having x, I will change it again to v plus 1. So my original equation will be v plus 1, okay, plus 1 times 3 times v plus 1 plus 7. This is v plus 2 times 3v plus 3 plus 7, which will give us v plus 2 times 3v plus 10. And I got my final answer, which is here. Good. Same thing, number 8 is just solving exactly same thing. So let us do number 9. We write a quadratic equation in standard form with the given root. Very easy question. The only thing, you know, this is your x and this is your x, so you can write x plus 2, x minus 2, okay, x minus 2 times x minus 3. This is your two roots, so you can just go directly to your equation. So in the other one is x plus 1 times x plus 5 is equal to 0. Same thing, the third one is x minus 3 over 2 times x plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, so nothing special here. Okay, this is a good question. So to have a perfect square, which is here, perfect square terminal, you need your your C value, the last one, to be a half of this one square. So for each expression to be a perfect square, the value of the last one, which is k in this example, must be half of the square of the coefficient in front of x, not x squared. So for this one, the first one, my k will be equal to 4 over 2 square, which is 2 square, which is 4. For this one, my key, for the second one, my key, number b, my key will be 3 over 2 square, which is 9 over 4. Okay, so for question number 14, express your answer as exact value. So to solve this one, I can just write my 2x squared is equal to 98, okay, which means my x squared is 98 over 2, okay, which is what? Which is 49. That means my x is equal to both of them, both plus and minus square root of 49, which is plus and minus 7. So we will have two value, x is equal to 7 and x is equal minus 7. Okay, so again, let me do the second one so you can master this. So for this one, x, for this second one, for this one, x plus 3. So this is, I have a square here and I should get rid of it. To get rid of it, I should have the square here, but I should get both positive and negative value. So my x plus 3 will be equal plus or minus square root of 25, which is plus or minus 5. This means that my x plus 3 can equal 5, or my x plus 3 is equal to minus 5. The first one, x is equal, if I remove 3 from both sides, will be x equal to 2. And if I remove 3 from both sides, will give me x is equal minus 8. So the both answers are x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 8. Same thing for 15, and all these things are exactly same question. So now let us do some exercise on the discrimination problem. So use the discriminant to determine the nature of the root for each quadratic equation. Do not solve the equation. They are just asking us to find the discriminant and say if it's have a solution or no. So for the first one, my discriminant, my delta is equal to my b square minus 4ac. Okay, so my b is, this is my b, this is my c, this is my e, my a. Okay, so my b square is 11 square, so my delta will be equal to 11 square minus 4 times 2 times 5, okay, times a times c, which are 2 and 5. So this will be equal to 121 minus 40, which is 81. So because my delta is greater than 0, I can see we have two solutions, two roots, okay, or two roots. My solution is double. Okay, for the other one, for the second one, hopefully we can find different. So this is my a, this is my b, this is my c. So my delta is b square minus 4ac, which is b square, which is what? 4 minus 4 square. So minus 4 square minus 4 times 4 times 1, which is what? Which is 16 minus 16, which is 0. Good. So in this, for this example, we have delta is equal to 0. That means my curve is touching the x-axis in just one point. We have just one simple solution. Okay, the first one we got two solutions. So my graph was touching the x-axis in 2 points. For the second one, my x-axis is touching the curve is just in just 1 point. Let's see the third one. Maybe it will be different also. So the third one, it's same thing. This one, delta is equal to b square minus 4ac, which is, this is my a, my b, my c. I always do the same thing. I have to show where is my a, my b, my c, so I won't be confused. So it is 6 square minus 4 times 3 times c, 24. This is a big number. So 36 minus 288, which is minus 252. So my delta is negative. That means there is no solution. So my curve is not touching the x-axis at all. No, it's not touching the x-axis. So there is no solution for this exercise. Okay, no, you should just remove this thing. So the question 19, first thing we should do, like find our delta. Let me find my delta for the first question, for example, for A. So my delta is minus b, is b square minus 4ac. So b square minus 4ac, which is, this is my a, this is my b, this is my c. The whole thing with the sign, not just by itself. Please remember that. So all exercise first they are positive, but this one you can see they are negative. So make sure you get the sign also. So which is minus 2 square minus 4 times minus 3 times 5. okay, which is 4 plus 60, so it's 64. Okay, so my delta is 64. This is 64. Okay, let me remove this thing. Now I find my delta. So my answer, my first answer will be x1 is equal to 2 plus the square root of 64 divided by 2 times minus 3, which is 2 plus 8 over minus 6, which is minus 10. It's 10. Here you can take minus up. It's minus 10 over 6 or 5 over 3. 5 over 3. Minus 5 over 3. x2 is 2 minus the square root of 64 over 2 times minus 3, which is same thing, except now you have 2 minus 8 over minus 6, which is minus 6 over minus 6, which is minus 1. So my both two answers are minus 4 over 3 and minus 1. So this graph will be touching the x-axis. It is looking down, facing down, okay, and it will be touching the x-axis in two numbers, in minus 1, okay, this is my x-axis, minus 1 and minus 5 over 3, okay.